Good morning, my friends. Let's talk about something that is both simple and profound: time. It is a gift, a force we cannot control, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. Too often we go through life as if time will always be here, as if it has no end. But time in reality is finite. Every second that passes is gone, never to return. So the question is, how do we maximize the time we have? The first key to maximizing your time is understanding that time is the most valuable resource. Unlike money, you can't make more time. It's not something you can earn back. Once it's gone forever. So why do we spend so much of it on trivial things? Why do we waste it on distractions that don't serve our purpose? Because we forget its value. This leads me to the second key: understand your purpose. If you don't know why you exist, how can you know how to spend your time? Purpose is the compass that guides your actions. When you understand your purpose, you'll naturally begin to direct your time toward activities that fulfill your mission. Your time becomes the tool that shapes your destiny. And in order to fully invest your time, you must set priorities. Not everything that comes your way is worth your attention. Not everything requires your time. You must learn to say no to things that do not serve your higher purpose. Prioritize the things that move you forward. Focus your energy where it matters most. But here's the truth: discipline is the bridge between your goals and your time. Time management isn't just about planning, it's about action. You must be disciplined enough to follow through with your plans, even when the distractions are loud and persistent. Discipline is what makes the difference between intention and achievement. Next, you must take responsibility for how you use your time. Don't blame others for the way you spend your days. It's easy to point fingers at circumstances, but the truth is, you are the steward of your own time. The choices you make today will shape your tomorrow. Own that responsibility. To protect your time, you need to create boundaries. The world will always demand your attention, and if you let it, it will consume your time. Learn to say no. Set limits. It's not selfish, it's necessary. You have to guard your time the way a treasure is guarded. Maximize every moment. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It moves relentlessly forward. But you can make each moment count. Whether you're working, resting, learning, or even spending time with family, be intentional. Don't let moments slip by unnoticed, because those moments are your life unfolding. Now, if you want to truly maximize your time, you must plan and execute with intent. Time can easily slip away when we lack direction. Have a plan. Set goals. Break them down into actionable steps. Then, execute those steps daily. A plan without execution is nothing more than a wish. Mistakes are inevitable, but what you do with them is critical. Learn from your past mistakes. Don't be paralyzed by regret. Instead, learn from where you've misused time in the past. Use those lessons to make better choices in the future. Don't let your past mistakes rob you of your present opportunities. And finally, live with a sense of urgency. Time is not forever. Tomorrow is not promised. Live each day as if it is the only one you have. Approach every task, every decision with a sense of urgency, because time is always moving forward and it's not waiting for you. In conclusion, time is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. How you manage it determines your success, your legacy, and your fulfillment. Remember, the key to maximizing your time is not about doing more, but doing what matters. Stay focused on your purpose, set your priorities, and use every moment to become the person you are meant to be. Time is the most valuable resource because it is the one thing we cannot replenish. Unlike money, which can be earned, spent, and earned again, time is a finite resource. Once a moment passes, it is gone forever. This makes time irreplaceable. We often take it for granted, assuming that there will always be more. But the truth is, time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't pause, it doesn't slow down, and it doesn't allow for any do-overs. The clock keeps ticking, whether we make use of it or waste it. What makes time even more valuable is that once it is gone, no amount of wealth, power, or influence can bring it back. People may have the resources to buy things, to experience new opportunities, or to fix past mistakes, but they can never buy time. That is the true measure of its value. Every second that passes is an opportunity missed, a potential unfulfilled. The moments of our lives are like coins, and how we spend them will determine the richness of our lives. Time can never be stored up, and once it is spent, we cannot get it back. Most people live their lives as if time is limitless, thinking they have all the time in the world to accomplish their dreams or resolve their issues. But the reality is that time, in many ways, is the only thing that we never truly control. We cannot stop it, reverse it, or extend it. It operates on its own terms. This is why we must view time not just as a measurement of passing moments, but as an asset we are responsible for managing wisely. Each day is a gift, a chance to move closer to what we want to achieve, to deepen our relationships, or to make a positive impact. Understanding the value of time is the first step to transforming the way we live. It shifts our perspective on how we approach our daily activities, how we set our goals, and how we prioritize our commitments. Time is a mirror of our choices, a reflection of what we deem important. If we waste time, we are essentially wasting our lives. When we treat time with respect, we unlock the potential for personal growth, achievement, and meaningful contributions to the world around us. Ultimately, time's value lies not just in its scarcity, but in how we choose to use it. It is a resource that forces us to confront our priorities and make decisions that reflect our true aspirations. It challenges us to act with urgency, to stay focused on what matters most, and to ensure that every moment counts. Time's value is not simply in its passing, but in the impact we can make with the time we are given. Understanding your purpose is the foundation upon which everything else in life is built. Without a clear sense of purpose, time can easily slip away, spent on activities that are either irrelevant or unfulfilling. When you know your purpose, you align your actions, decisions, and goals with the deeper meaning of your life. Purpose gives you direction and meaning, and it serves as a guide for how you spend your time. It turns each day into an opportunity to move closer to your ultimate goals, rather than allowing life to simply happen around you. Purpose is not something that is given to you, it is something you discover through introspection, reflection, and experience. It is an inner knowing that rises from understanding who you are at the core. Many people spend years searching for their purpose, or worse, they never even ask themselves the critical question, what am I truly here to do? Yet, without this understanding, life can become a series of distractions that leave you feeling empty or disconnected. When you live without purpose, time becomes a blur, and it's easy to drift from one day to the next without real fulfillment. Once you discover your purpose, everything changes. You begin to see time differently. It is no longer an endless expanse. It is a precious and limited resource that you must use wisely to achieve your purpose. The clarity of purpose brings focus. It allows you to choose wisely how you spend your time, which relationships you invest in, and what opportunities you pursue. Purpose acts as a filter that helps you decide what is worth your attention and what is not. When you understand your purpose, it becomes easier to reject distractions that do not align with your vision. Purpose also fuels passion. When you are aligned with your purpose, you feel a sense of excitement and enthusiasm for the work you are doing. This passion propels you forward, helping you to overcome challenges, stay disciplined, and maintain resilience in the face of setbacks. The energy that purpose brings is contagious. It motivates you to keep going, even when the road gets tough. When you are connected to your purpose, time seems to slow down because you are so deeply engaged in what you are doing. Each task, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger, more meaningful picture. Furthermore, understanding your purpose provides you with a sense of fulfillment that cannot be replicated by external achievements or material success. Achieving things in life is important, but if those achievements are not aligned with your true purpose, they will ultimately feel hollow. That purpose brings depth to your existence. It allows you to look back on your life with satisfaction, knowing that your time was well spent. When you act in alignment with your purpose, you are not just passing through life, but living with intention. In this way, understanding your purpose is not just about accomplishing things or making progress. It is about living with meaning, being true to who you are, and creating an impact that aligns with your deepest values. transforms your relationship with time because your days are no longer wasted on meaningless pursuits. Instead, each moment becomes an opportunity to grow, to contribute, and to build something lasting. Understanding your purpose is the key to maximizing the time you have and ensuring that your life is marked by both achievement and fulfillment. Setting priorities is one of the most powerful ways to maximize your time and ensure that you are investing your energy in the things that truly matter. The world is filled with countless demands on our attention, and without clear priorities, it's easy to become overwhelmed, distracted, or lost in the noise of life. When you set priorities, you are making conscious decisions about where your time, effort, and focus should go. Priorities act as a roadmap, guiding you to the places, people, and actions that align with your goals and values. To set priorities effectively, you must first have a clear understanding of what is most important to you. This requires self-awareness and reflection. What are your values? What are the things that will bring you the most fulfillment, success, or joy in life? What goals are you striving to achieve? Your priorities should be a direct reflection of these answers. When you are clear about what you want to achieve and why it matters, it becomes easier to discern where you should focus your time. Once you know what matters most, you must be willing to say no to the things that do not align with your priorities. This is often one of the hardest parts of setting priorities. We live in a world that constantly asks for our attention. We may feel the pressure to say yes to every opportunity, every request, every invitation. But every yes that doesn't align with your priorities is a no to something that does. Learning to say no is not about being selfish. It is about protecting your time and energy for the things that are truly important. Prioritizing is not just about eliminating distractions, it's about being intentional with your time. It's about making sure that your daily actions and decisions are aligned with your long-term vision. For example, if your goal is to build a successful career, then you must prioritize activities that contribute to your professional growth, learning new skills, networking, or dedicating time to work. If your goal is to nurture relationships, you must prioritize spending quality time with the people who matter most in your life. Priorities force you to make choices and to structure your time in a way that supports your highest objectives. Effective prioritization also involves balancing short-term and long-term goals. Often we can get caught up in the urgent tasks of the day, the emails, meetings, and responsibilities that seem pressing. These can easily take over if we don't step back and remind ourselves of our larger objectives. While it's important to manage daily tasks, it's equally important to ensure that those tasks are contributing to your long-term goals. By setting priorities, you allocate time for both immediate needs and the bigger picture. In setting priorities, it's crucial to recognize that not all tasks carry the same weight. There are urgent tasks, but there are also important tasks. Urgency can create the illusion of importance, leading us to focus on things that demand immediate attention, but may not be aligned with our core goals. Prioritization helps you distinguish between the two. It forces you to focus on what will truly move you closer to your aspirations, rather than just what happens to be in front of you at the moment. Furthermore, priorities give you a sense of control over your time. When you allow the demands of others or the chaos of daily life to dictate how you spend your time, you give up your power. Setting priorities returns that power to you. It gives you the ability to make conscious decisions about where your energy goes and how your time is spent. It means you are no longer a passive participant in your own life, but an active creator of your destiny. Setting priorities also helps with mental clarity and reduces stress. When you know what's most important, you are not constantly second-guessing yourself or wondering if you're doing the right thing. You are clear about what you need to focus on and can confidently say no to the distractions and lesser demands. This focus not only improves your efficiency, but also contributes to a greater sense of peace, knowing that you are investing your time where it counts. Finally, setting priorities is an ongoing practice. As life evolves, your priorities may shift. What was once urgent may become less important, and new opportunities or challenges may arise. Therefore, it is essential to regularly revisit and adjust your priorities. Life is dynamic, and so should be your approach to time management. The process of setting and resetting your priorities is not a one-time event, but a continual practice that keeps you aligned with your purpose and goals. By setting clear priorities, you are ensuring that your time is spent with intention, purpose, and clarity. Prioritization is a key to living a life of fulfillment and achievement because it allows you to focus on what truly matters and to let go of what doesn't. It is a tool that empowers you to make the most of every moment and to create a life that reflects your deepest values and ambitions. Embracing discipline is one of the most fundamental ways to maximize your time and achieve success in any area of life. Discipline is not simply about following rules or adhering to rigid schedules. It is about having the self-control and commitment to consistently pursue what matters most, even when it feels difficult, inconvenient, or uncomfortable. Without discipline, intentions and dreams remain just that, ideas without execution. Discipline is the bridge between what we hope to achieve and what we actually accomplish. It is the force that keeps us moving forward, even when motivation fades, obstacles arise, or distractions try to pull us away from our goals. At its core, discipline is about choosing long-term rewards over short-term gratification. In a world full of distractions, whether it's social media, entertainment, or the lure of instant pleasure, it is easy to give in to the immediate temptations that provide temporary satisfaction, but ultimately lead us further from our objectives. Discipline requires the ability to resist these temptations, to stay focused on what's truly important, and to consistently do the work that will move us closer to our goals. It's about understanding that real success doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort, but from steady, consistent action over time. Discipline also involves cultivating habits that support your desired outcomes. Habits are the routines that we engage in without thinking, and they can either work for us or against us. The more disciplined we are in forming positive habits, whether it's waking up early, sticking to a workout routine, dedicating time for learning, or setting aside time for meaningful relationships, the more we set ourselves up for success. Habits shape our day-to-day actions, and over time, our habits shape the course of our lives. The key to embracing discipline is realizing that success doesn't happen in a moment of inspiration, but rather in the small, consistent steps we take each day. When we consistently perform the right actions, even in the face of resistance, we move closer to the results we seek. However, discipline is not about perfection. It's not about always doing everything exactly right, but about showing up, doing the work, and staying committed even when it's tough. Life is filled with setbacks, and there will be times when we slip, make mistakes, or fall short of our expectations. Discipline is what allows us to get back on track quickly, learn from our missteps, and keep moving forward with renewed focus and determination. It's not about never failing, but about building the resilience to keep pushing through challenges and not allowing temporary setbacks to derail us completely. The power of discipline is seen in its ability to create momentum. Discipline allows us to build upon each small effort, and as we continue to show up and do the work, progress starts to compound. What may have felt like an insurmountable task becomes manageable through consistent, disciplined action. Over time, this momentum generates results that would not have been possible without the initial commitment to doing what needs to be done day in and then day out. This is the power of discipline, its ability to turn seemingly insignificant actions into substantial, life-changing outcomes. Additionally, discipline helps us to stay aligned with our long-term vision, even when the short-term pressures or frustrations of life try to pull us off course. In our busy, fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in the urgency of the moment, responding to immediate demands and neglecting what truly matters. Discipline allows us to step back and make decisions based on our bigger picture, not just our immediate circumstances. It helps us keep our focus on what we truly value, whether it's our health, relationships, career, or personal growth, and make sure we spend our time and energy moving toward those priorities rather than getting lost in distractions. Discipline is also a key to time management. When we embrace discipline, we create structure in our lives. We are intentional with how we allocate our time and ensure that our actions align with our goals. This structure doesn't feel restrictive. Instead, it gives us the freedom to focus on what's most important. By practicing discipline, we avoid procrastination and time-wasting activities because we've made a conscious decision to stick to our schedule and follow through with our commitments. Discipline enables us to protect our time, stay productive, and maintain balance, ensuring that we allocate time for work, rest, and the things that matter most. To embrace discipline, we must also practice patience. Results take time, and discipline is the practice of staying the course even when immediate rewards are not visible. It's the willingness to trust that the consistent effort will eventually pay off, even when progress seems slow or invisible. Through discipline, we develop the strength to wait for the right outcomes and the perseverance to keep going, even when the journey feels long or difficult. We learn to appreciate the process, knowing that discipline is the key to transforming our potential into tangible results. Ultimately, embracing discipline is about understanding that success is not a matter of luck or chance, but of sustained effort over time. It is the internal force that drives us to do the necessary work day after day and to stay focused on what matters. When we embrace discipline, we tap into the power to create lasting change in our lives, to reach our highest potential, and to make the most of the time we have. Discipline in its purest form is freedom, the freedom to shape our lives according to our values, our goals, and our deepest aspirations. Taking responsibility is a cornerstone of personal growth and success. It means owning your choices, actions, and outcomes without making excuses or shifting blame onto others or circumstances. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge that you are in control of your life and that the way you use your time, make decisions, and respond to challenges ultimately shapes your future. It is a mindset that empowers you to take charge of your life rather than waiting for external circumstances or other people to define your path. Taking responsibility starts with understanding that no matter what happens to you, how you respond is within your control. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot always control the circumstances we face. However, we can always control how we react to them. Whether we face failures, setbacks, or unexpected challenges, taking responsibility means not blaming others or situations, but instead asking ourselves what we can learn from the experience and how we can move forward. This shift in mindset is powerful because it stops you from being a passive participant in your own life and forces you to be proactive in shaping your outcomes. When you take responsibility, you stop giving your power away. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external factors for your difficulties, perhaps blaming a bad economy, an unfair system, or other people for your problems. While these external factors may have an impact on your life, they do not have the power to determine your success unless you allow them to. By taking responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop looking for someone or something to blame, and instead you focus on how you can change, improve, and move forward. It's a mindset of ownership and accountability. Taking responsibility also means accepting the consequences of your actions, both good and bad. Every choice we make carries a consequence, whether it's the result of our decisions, behaviors, or attitudes. When you take responsibility, you are willing to face the consequences of your actions and not hide from them or deflect them onto others. This is a crucial part of personal integrity. It's about being honest with yourself and others about the impact of your choices. If your actions lead to success, you celebrate it as a result of your own hard work and decisions. If they lead to failure, you do not shy away from it, but rather learn from it, adapt, and improve. Responsibility means not seeking shortcuts or avoiding difficult lessons, but embracing them as part of your growth. Moreover, taking responsibility is about being accountable, not just to others, but to yourself. This means holding yourself to a higher standard and doing what you say you will do. It means following through on commitments, whether to others or to yourself. Too often, people set goals and make plans, but fail to take responsibility for ensuring that they take the necessary steps to achieve them. Taking responsibility means honoring your promises, no matter how small or large they are. It's about consistency in your actions and staying true to your word, even when it requires sacrifice or hard work. Taking responsibility also allows you to learn from your mistakes. When you refuse to take responsibility, you miss the opportunity to reflect on what went wrong and make improvements. The moment you stop blaming others is the moment you begin to find solutions and grow. Mistakes and failures are part of life. They do not define you unless you allow them to. However, when you take responsibility for them, you use them as stepping stones to your next level of success. You take the time to ask yourself questions like, what could I have done differently? Or how can I prevent this from happening again? These questions allow you to take ownership of your growth and development, leading to continuous improvement. Responsibility also involves being accountable for how you spend your time. Time is a precious resource, and how you choose to use it is ultimately your decision. If you waste time on things that are not contributing to your goals, you have to take responsibility for that. If you're not progressing as you wish, it's important to ask yourself why. Are you procrastinating? Are you prioritizing the wrong things? Are you letting distractions control your day? Taking responsibility for your time means taking ownership of how you structure your day and aligning it with your long-term aspirations. It means recognizing that every choice you make has an impact on how your time is spent and ultimately how you progress toward your goals. When you take responsibility, you begin to see every challenge as an opportunity. Problems no longer become insurmountable obstacles. Instead, they are chances for you to demonstrate resilience and creativity. When you take responsibility for your life, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and you start seeing yourself as a creator of your own future. This shift allows you to take empowered actions and make decisions that bring you closer to your desired outcomes, regardless of the external conditions. Finally, taking responsibility is about leading by example. It's about setting the tone for those around you, whether in your family, community, or workplace. When you take responsibility for your actions, it sets a positive example for others to follow. People around you will begin to recognize your integrity and accountability, and this influences them to take responsibility for their own lives as well. The ripple effect of taking responsibility not only transforms your own life, but can inspire others to step up and take ownership of their actions, creating a culture of responsibility that encourages growth, progress, and empowerment. In the end, taking responsibility is not just about being accountable for your actions, it's about owning your life. It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your circumstances, make better decisions, and learn from your experiences. When you take full responsibility, you move from being a passive observer of your life to an active creator of your destiny. It is in this ownership that you unlock the true potential to lead a fulfilling, successful, and meaningful life. Creating boundaries is essential for protecting your time, energy, and overall well-being. Without clear boundaries, it becomes all too easy to overcommit, feel overwhelmed, and lose sight of what truly matters. Boundaries are not about building walls or cutting yourself off from others. Rather, they are about defining what is acceptable and what is not, and ensuring that you take responsibility for maintaining that space. Boundaries help you establish balance in your life, allowing you to focus on your priorities while maintaining healthy relationships and personal peace. The first step in creating boundaries is understanding your limits. Everyone has different needs, tolerances, and capacities, and it's important to recognize where yours lie. For example, you might need uninterrupted time to focus on work, or you might need personal space to recharge after a busy week. When you are clear about your limits, you are better equipped to set boundaries that protect your time and energy. Being honest with yourself about your needs and limits is crucial, as it helps you make informed decisions about where to invest your time and how to communicate your boundaries to others. Boundaries are also a vital part of self-respect. When you allow others to overstep your boundaries, whether it's in the form of taking up too much of your time, energy, or emotional resources, you are essentially telling yourself that your needs are not important. Respecting your own boundaries means prioritizing your well-being, even when it feels difficult to do so. This can be particularly challenging when you feel pressure from family, friends, or colleagues to give more of yourself than you're comfortable with. However, it's important to remember that setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but an act of self-care. By setting clear limits, you ensure that you have the capacity to show up as your best self for others without sacrificing your own needs in the process. Effective boundaries also require clear communication. People can't respect boundaries they don't know exist. This means you must be willing to express your needs and limits openly and assertively without fear of rejection or conflict. Clear communication doesn't mean being rude or inflexible. It means being honest and direct about what you need in a way that is respectful of others. For example, if you need to set aside time for focused work, you might need to communicate that to colleagues, family or friends. Letting them know that you cannot be disturbed during certain hours helps prevent misunderstandings and ensures that others respect your space. By communicating your boundaries, you empower others to support you in maintaining them. Creating boundaries also means learning how to say no. This is often one of the most difficult aspects of boundary setting, especially for those who have a strong desire to please others or avoid conflict. However, saying no is one of the most powerful ways to protect your time and energy. Saying no does not mean that you are rejecting others or being unkind, rather. It means that you are making a choice to protect your well-being and prioritize what is truly important to you. Saying no can be as simple as acknowledging your limits, expressing appreciation for the request, and politely declining. The more you practice saying no in a respectful and clear manner, the more confident and comfortable you will become with setting and maintaining boundaries. Boundaries are also about protecting your emotional space. In relationships, it's easy to absorb the emotions and energy of others, particularly if they are in a negative or stressful state. However, when you take on too much of other people's emotional weight, you risk losing your sense of balance and well-being. Creating emotional boundaries means recognizing when you are taking on too much of someone else's emotional energy and choosing to protect yourself from being overwhelmed. This doesn't mean that you don't empathize with others, but it means recognizing that you are not responsible for their emotions and you don't need to carry them as your own. By setting emotional boundaries, you maintain your own peace and clarity, which allows you to be more present and supportive in your relationships without becoming depleted. In addition to protecting your time and emotional space, boundaries also help safeguard your mental and physical health. When you set boundaries around your time, you create opportunities for rest, relaxation, and self-care, which are essential for maintaining your overall well-being. Boundaries allow you to say no to unhealthy habits or practices that drain your energy or undermine your health. For example, you might create boundaries around your work schedule, ensuring that you have time to rest and recharge each day. By setting limits on how much time you spend working, socializing, or engaging in activities that drain you, you can create a more balanced life that supports your long-term health and happiness. Creating boundaries also helps you maintain a sense of control over your life. Without boundaries, you may find yourself constantly reacting to the needs and demands of others, leaving little time or energy for yourself or your goals. Boundaries give you the ability to make intentional decisions about how you spend your time, whom you spend it with, and what you will or won't accept in your relationships. This sense of control is crucial for staying focused on your priorities and ensuring that your time is spent on the things that align with your values and aspirations. It's important to recognize that boundaries are not static. They are dynamic and may need to be adjusted as your life circumstances change. What may have been a necessary boundary at one point in your life may no longer be relevant or necessary as your goals and responsibilities evolve. Creating boundaries is not about setting rigid rules, but about being flexible and adjusting them as needed. Life is fluid, and your boundaries should reflect that, evolving to meet your changing needs. In the end, creating boundaries is not about limiting your life, but about protecting it. Boundaries allow you to create the space necessary to focus on what truly matters, preserve your energy, and maintain balance in your relationships, work, and personal life. They give you the freedom to live authentically and fully without the constant pressure of external demands and expectations. By creating healthy boundaries, you honor yourself and your time and time, and in doing so, you create the conditions for a more fulfilling, peaceful, and purposeful life. Maximizing every moment is about making the most of the time you have, ensuring that each second contributes to your growth, well-being, and overall goals. Time is the one resource that once spent cannot be regained. Every moment that passes is an opportunity that you can never recover. Because of this, learning to maximize each moment is essential if you want to live a life of fulfillment and purpose. It requires intentionality, focus, and mindfulness, being present in what you are doing and making the conscious decision to invest your time wisely. To maximize every moment, it starts with being intentional about how you use your time. This means making decisions that align with your goals, values, and priorities. Instead of letting time slip away through distractions or idle activities, you choose to focus on what truly matters. Each moment then becomes a chance to work toward the bigger picture, whether that's personal growth, building relationships, advancing in your career, or contributing to a cause you care about. The more intentional you are, the more you ensure that your actions are aligned with your purpose, leading to a sense of fulfillment and achievement. Being present in each moment is another key element of maximizing time. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become distracted. jumping from one task to another without fully engaging in what you're doing. Whether you're working, spending time with family, or pursuing a hobby, being fully present in each moment allows you to get the most out of it. This means eliminating distractions, focusing on the task at hand, and allowing yourself to immerse fully in the experience. When you focus on the present, you work more efficiently, build deeper connections with others, and enjoy life more fully. By avoiding multitasking and concentrating on the here and now, you make each moment more productive and meaningful. Maximizing every moment also involves eliminating wasted time. It's easy to get caught up in activities that do not contribute to your well-being or your long-term goals. This could be scrolling mindlessly through social media, binge watching television shows, or engaging in unproductive habits. While rest and relaxation are important, they should be balanced with purposeful activities that move you closer to where you want to go. Recognizing when you're wasting time and taking steps to eliminate those moments allows you to redirect your energy into things that matter. Time management is not about being busy, but about being productive and focused on what adds value to your life. Being disciplined with your time is crucial in this process. Discipline ensures that you stay on track and avoid falling into the trap of procrastination or distractions. When you discipline yourself to stick to your plan or schedule, you create a sense of consistency in your day. This consistency compounds over time, allowing you to achieve larger goals by consistently investing your time in the right places. With discipline, you maximize the value of each moment as you create momentum that propels you forward and eliminates wasted effort. Another key aspect of maximizing every moment is finding balance. While it's important to be intentional with your time, it's equally important to give yourself space to rest, reflect, and recharge. Balance means making time for work, but also for relaxation, exercise, and spending time with loved ones. When you create balance in your life, you are ensuring that every moment you invest in work or productivity is matched with time for rest and rejuvenation. This balance helps prevent burnout and ensures that you're operating at your best in all areas of life. To maximize every moment, you must also prioritize your energy. Time is one thing, but energy is what allows you to make the most of that time. If you're tired or mentally drained, even the most well-planned day can feel unproductive. It's important to recognize when you're at your best and schedule your most demanding tasks for those times. Whether it's early in the morning after a workout or following a period of rest, being aware of when you have the most energy allows you to use that time more effectively. By focusing your energy on high priority tasks during your peak times, you ensure that you are making the most of each moment. Reflection is also an important part of maximizing time. Taking time to reflect on your actions, goals, and how you spend your time gives you the opportunity to adjust and recalibrate. Reflection allows you to recognize what is working and what isn't, giving you the insight you need to make better decisions moving forward. It's not just about working harder, but working smarter. By regularly evaluating your time and adjusting your strategies, you can continuously improve how you maximize every moment. Maximizing every moment requires a mindset shift. Instead of seeing time as something that you just pass through, you begin to see it as a precious resource and asset that, when used wisely, can create lasting impact in your life. Every moment has potential. Whether it's learning something new, connecting with someone important, or taking a small action that leads to a larger goal. By changing your perspective on time and choosing to live with intention, you can turn every moment into an opportunity for growth, contribution, and fulfillment. Finally, maximizing time is about living with a sense of urgency, not as a source of stress, but as a reminder of how valuable each second is. Knowing that time is finite and irreplaceable encourages you to take action and make decisions with purpose. It encourages you to stop procrastinating and to pursue your goals with vigor. This sense of urgency does not create anxiety, but rather fuels motivation, helping you move forward with a sense of clarity and determination. When you focus on maximizing every moment, you take control of your life in a way that brings you closer to your dreams, goals, and aspirations. You create a life of intention, purpose, and fulfillment, where every moment contributes to the bigger picture. By being mindful of how you use your time, staying focused on your priorities, and eliminating distractions, you ensure that you are living the life you truly desire. Time is one of the few resources that once spent cannot be regained. Therefore, maximizing every moment is not just a strategy, it's a way of honoring the life you have and making the most of the time you are given. Planning and executing with intent is about approaching life with a clear purpose, focusing your actions on your goals, and moving forward with deliberate steps. It involves not just knowing what you want, but taking the necessary actions to bring your vision into reality. This approach requires mindfulness, discipline, and clarity as it encourages you to make intentional decisions and align your daily actions with the bigger picture of your life. When you plan with intent, you are taking charge of your future rather than letting life unfold without direction. The foundation of planning with intent begins with understanding what truly matters to you. It's easy to get caught up in external expectations or distractions, but when you take the time to reflect on your goals and values, you can create a plan that is deeply aligned with your true desires. This clarity allows you to make decisions that are in harmony with your purpose, leading to a greater sense of fulfillment. Planning with intent is not about following a rigid set of steps, but about creating a flexible roadmap that guides you toward your goals while adapting to life's changes. Once you have clarity about what you want, the next step is to create a detailed plan that outlines the necessary actions. A plan gives structure and direction to your efforts, ensuring that you are focused on the right tasks at the right time. It involves setting specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals that break down larger objectives into manageable steps. By having a clear path forward, you minimize the risk of getting lost in distractions or overwhelming yourself with a lack of direction. Each step in the plan becomes a building block toward the successful execution of your ultimate goals. Executing with intent means that every action you take is purposeful. It's about approaching each task with a mindset of efficiency and effectiveness. You don't merely go through the motions or rush through activities. Instead, you approach them with the understanding that each action is an investment in your future. Whether you're working on a personal project, building a career, or improving your health, every moment spent working toward your goal should be done with intention. This focused approach ensures that your efforts are aligned with your larger purpose and prevents you from wasting time on activities that do not contribute to your objectives. Intentional execution also involves being mindful of the present moment. While planning is crucial for setting a direction, it's the execution that requires your full presence and attention. It's easy to get distracted or procrastinate, but when you execute with intent, you commit to staying engaged and fully immersed in the task at hand. This presence allows you to maximize your time and energy, ensuring that you are operating at your highest potential. When you dedicate yourself to the work without letting distractions steal your focus, your productivity and outcomes improve exponentially. To execute with intent, discipline plays a pivotal role. It requires the ability to follow through on your plans even when faced with challenges, distractions, or discomfort. Disciplined execution means sticking to your commitments even when it's hard. It involves creating habits and routines that reinforce your focus and ensure that you continue making progress. Discipline also means being willing to make sacrifices in the short term for long-term success, staying committed to your vision even when immediate rewards or gratification are not evident. Adaptability is another key component of executing with intent. While having a clear plan is important, life rarely goes exactly as expected. There will be setbacks, obstacles, and unexpected changes along the way. However, when you plan and execute with intent, you remain flexible enough to adjust your strategy without losing sight of your goals. Being adaptable means recognizing that obstacles are a natural part of any journey, and that success requires persistence and the ability to pivot when necessary. With adaptability, you can stay focused and resilient, ensuring that your plans remain dynamic and relevant as circumstances evolve. Accountability is also crucial when executing with intent. Holding yourself accountable for your actions keeps you focused and committed to your goals. It's easy to get sidetracked or lose motivation, but when you are accountable to yourself or others, you have a system of checks and balances that keeps you on track. Accountability is not about punishing yourself when things go wrong, but rather about acknowledging when you veer off course and taking responsibility for getting back on track. This sense of responsibility ensures that you stay aligned with your plan, constantly refining your approach as needed. Moreover, Executing with intent means being patient with the process. It's easy to expect instant results, but success often takes time and consistent effort. When you execute with intent, you trust in the process and understand that meaningful progress is built over time. It's important to celebrate small wins along the way, as each step forward brings you closer to your final destination. Patience allows you to stay committed, even when results are slow or setbacks arise. Understanding that execution is a marathon, not a sprint, ensures that you maintain long-term focus and perseverance. The importance of reflection cannot be overstated when it comes to planning and executing with intent. After each action or task, take time to reflect on how it went, what you learned, and how you can improve moving forward. Reflection provides you with valuable insights that can refine your approach and enhance future performance. It ensures that you're not just moving through your task blindly, but actively learning from your experiences. This process of continuous improvement ensures that each step you take brings you closer to your goals in a more efficient and effective manner. At times, executing with intent also involves seeking feedback from others. While self-reliance is important, input from trusted mentors, colleagues, or friends can provide new perspectives and ideas that can help you refine your approach. Feedback can be a powerful tool for improving your execution, helping you identify blind spots, strengthen weak areas, and find more effective ways of reaching your objectives. This openness to external input enhances your ability to execute with precision and clarity, ensuring that your plan stays on track and your actions remain purposeful. To plan and execute with intent is to take ownership of your destiny. It requires a proactive approach, where you are not merely waiting for things to happen, but actively shaping your life through purposeful action. This approach ensures that you are always moving forward with a sense of purpose and direction. Every plan, every action, every decision is made with intentionality, leading you towards success, growth, and fulfillment. When you plan with clarity and execute with focus, you turn your aspirations into tangible achievements, creating a life that reflects your true potential. Learning from past mistakes is one of the most powerful tools you have for personal growth and success. Every mistake, whether big or small, carries valuable lessons that can help shape your future. Too often, people view mistakes as setbacks or failures, but in reality, they are opportunities in disguise. They offer insights into where things went wrong, how you can improve, and what you can do differently next time. When you adopt the mindset that mistakes are not to be feared but embraced as teachers, you transform your approach to challenges and setbacks. The first step in learning from mistakes is to acknowledge them. This may seem like an obvious step, but many people avoid confronting their mistakes because they feel ashamed or discouraged. However, refusing to face your mistakes only prolongs the negative impact they have. When you acknowledge your mistakes, you take ownership of them. This self-awareness is the foundation of growth. It allows you to stop blaming external circumstances or other people and instead focus on what you could have done differently. Taking responsibility for your actions empowers you to make changes and take control of your future decisions. Once you've acknowledged your mistakes, it's important to reflect on what went wrong. This requires honesty and the ability to look at the situation objectively. Ask yourself questions like, what was my role in the situation? Did I fail to plan adequately? Did I overlook important details? Was I too impulsive or hesitant in my decision-making? By reflecting on your actions and their consequences, you gain clarity on the factors that contributed to your mistake. Reflection isn't about self-criticism or dwelling on negative emotions, but about understanding the root causes so you can make better decisions moving forward. In addition to reflection, it's essential to extract the lesson from your mistake. What can you learn from the experience? Sometimes, the lesson is immediately clear, while other times it requires deeper introspection. Perhaps you realize that you need to improve your communication skills, manage your time better, or make more thoughtful decisions. The key is to identify specific areas where you can improve and commit to doing things differently in the future. Mistakes often provide the best lessons as they highlight gaps in knowledge, skills, or habits that, when addressed, can lead to significant personal growth. Learning from mistakes also involves adopting a mindset of growth and resilience. When you view mistakes as opportunities for learning rather than as failures, you open yourself up to growth. It's important to understand that mistakes don't define you. They are simply part of the learning process. Embracing mistakes as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks allows you to develop resilience. Instead of being discouraged or disheartened, you use each mistake as a way to grow stronger, smarter, and more prepared for future challenges. This mindset enables you to bounce back quickly after setbacks, knowing that you can always learn something valuable from the experience. Equally important is forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made. Self-forgiveness is an essential component of personal growth because holding on to guilt or regret can prevent you from moving forward. Everyone makes mistakes and no one is perfect. Acknowledge that you are human and that errors are a natural part of life. By forgiving yourself, you release any negative emotions tied to the mistake, allowing you to focus on the lessons learned and the path forward. Holding on to guilt only keeps you stuck, while forgiveness frees you to take the next step with a renewed sense of purpose. Another crucial aspect of learning from mistakes is making a plan to avoid repeating them. It's one thing to learn a lesson, but it's another to apply that lesson in future situations. Once you've identified what went wrong and what you could have done differently, take proactive steps to prevent similar mistakes from occurring again. This could involve developing new habits, seeking additional knowledge, improving your skills, or creating systems that help you stay on track. For example, if a mistake was caused by poor time management, you might implement a more structured schedule or set clearer priorities to ensure that your time is used more effectively. The goal is not to be perfect, but to minimize the chances of making the same mistake repeatedly. Sometimes it's helpful to seek guidance from others when learning from past mistakes. If you're unsure about what went wrong or how to improve, consulting with trusted mentors, colleagues, or friends can provide valuable perspectives. They might offer advice or insights that you hadn't considered, helping you gain a clearer understanding of the situation. Sometimes others can see things from a different angle and point out blind spots that you may have missed. Engaging in constructive feedback allows you to grow from your mistakes more quickly and effectively, ensuring that you don't repeat them in the future. It's also important to remember that progress is not always linear. Even after learning from a mistake, you might find yourself making similar errors again, particularly when you're trying to implement new habits or behaviors. This is part of the process of change. Don't be discouraged if things don't go perfectly right away. The key is to keep going, stay committed to learning, and apply what you've learned over time. Mistakes may still happen, but the more you learn from them, the less likely they are to derail your progress. Additionally, learning from mistakes is about cultivating patience with yourself. Growth takes time, and learning from your mistakes is a lifelong process. You won't always have immediate answers or solutions, and sometimes it takes multiple attempts to fully integrate the lessons learned. Patience with yourself allows you to stay motivated even when things don't go as planned. It encourages you to keep experimenting, making adjustments, and refining your approach. This process of continuous improvement is what ultimately leads to greater success and personal fulfillment. In the end, learning from past mistakes is an essential part of becoming the best version of yourself. Every mistake carries an opportunity for growth, and it's how you respond to those mistakes that ultimately determines your success. Instead of fearing or avoiding mistakes, embrace them as a vital part of your journey. When you learn from your mistakes, you not only improve your decision-making and skills, but also develop greater resilience, confidence, and wisdom. By doing so, you turn each mistake into a valuable stepping stone on the path to becoming your best self. Living with a sense of urgency is not about rushing through life, feeling frantic or stressed, but rather about approaching each day with the awareness that time is finite and every moment is precious. It's about recognizing that every second that passes is an opportunity that, once gone, cannot be reclaimed. This sense of urgency comes from understanding the importance of your time, your goals, and the impact you want to have on the world. It's an inner drive that propels you to take action now rather than putting things off, to live intentionally and make the most of every moment. It's a mindset that transforms how you approach everything from your daily tasks to your larger aspirations. At the core of living with urgency is the recognition that time waits for no one. The reality is life moves forward whether we are ready or not. If you delay or procrastinate, you are allowing opportunities to slip away, and you cannot predict when they will come again. This realization brings clarity to your life and understanding that time is your most valuable resource. You don't have the luxury of wasting it. With a sense of urgency, you stop waiting for the right moment or ideal circumstances because you understand that those moments often never come. You seize the moment, doing what you can with what you have, when you have it. Living with urgency means taking decisive action. Many people spend a lot of time thinking about what they want to do, but fail to take concrete steps toward achieving it. While planning and strategizing are important, they are only effective when followed by action. Living with urgency pushes you to move beyond indecision or fear of failure and to take that first step, even if it's imperfect. When you act with urgency, you create momentum, and momentum makes it easier to keep going. It shifts you from being passive to being active, from being reactive to being proactive. You stop waiting for things to happen and start making them happen. A sense of urgency also means focusing on what really matters. Life is filled with distractions, small, insignificant things that can easily steal your time and energy. When you live with urgency, you develop a greater sense of clarity about your priorities. You identify what is most important to you and direct your energy toward those things. You stop wasting time on trivial matters and focus on the things that align with your goals and values. This focus allows you to be more productive and more efficient with your time, enabling you to accomplish more in less time. It also prevents you from getting sidetracked by things that are not in line with your purpose, ensuring that each moment is spent in service of your larger vision. A sense of urgency doesn't mean rushing through everything, but it does mean avoiding procrastination. Procrastination is often rooted in fear or uncertainty, causing people to put things off for another day, another week, or even another year. This delay may feel comfortable in the moment, but in the long run, it only leads to regret. Living with urgency means confronting those fears and moving forward despite them. You take small, consistent actions toward your goals every day. You don't wait for conditions to be perfect because you know that perfection is often a disguise for fear or insecurity. Instead, you focus on progress, not perfection. With urgency, you commit to doing something each day that moves you closer to where you want to be, knowing that incremental progress adds up over time. This urgency also requires discipline. When you live with urgency, you understand that time is a limited commodity, and discipline is what keeps you on track. It's easy to get distracted, to give in to short-term pleasures, or to deviate from your path when things get challenging. But discipline, keeping your commitments to yourself and to others, is what helps you stay focused and productive, even when it's hard. With a sense of urgency, you build habits that support your goals. You wake up early, prioritize important tasks, and eliminate distractions so that you can get more done in less time. Discipline helps you make the most of every moment, and that is the essence of living with urgency. Urgency also means embracing the discomfort of growth. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone where things feel familiar and safe, but growth happens when you push yourself beyond what is comfortable. Living with urgency means stepping into discomfort, taking risks, and making decisions even when they are difficult. It's about realizing that growth requires sacrifice. You have to be willing to give up short-term pleasures, delay gratification, and take action even when you feel uncertain. This sense of urgency fuels your desire to push through the discomfort and keeps you moving forward toward your long-term goals, even when the road is challenging. Another important aspect of living with urgency is recognizing the power of now. Too many people delay their dreams, telling themselves they'll start tomorrow or next week. But tomorrow is never guaranteed, and the future is shaped by the actions you take today. If you want to make an impact in your life, your career, or the world, you must take action now. The best time to start is always today. Living with urgency means taking advantage of the present moment and making decisions with an understanding of how they will shape your future. It's not about rushing or acting without thought, but about making the most of the time you have, knowing that every moment spent waiting is one you'll never get back. Living with urgency also involves letting go of the fear of failure. When you act with urgency, you understand that failure is part of the process, not the end of the road. It's a stepping stone to success, a necessary part of growth. When you let go of the fear of failure, you free yourself to take bold actions without hesitation. You understand that mistakes are simply opportunities to learn and improve, not reasons to quit. Living with urgency means being willing to fail and get back up, knowing that every failure brings you one step closer to success. Ultimately, living with a sense of urgency is about living a life that is fully engaged. It's about putting your time, energy, and focus into the things that matter most to you. When you live with urgency, you don't let life pass you by. You embrace every moment, make the most of your time, and ensure that your actions align with your deeper values and goals. It's a mindset that encourages you to take action, stay disciplined, focus on what matters, and step outside your comfort zone. By living with urgency, you create a life of purpose, direction, and fulfillment, knowing that every day is an opportunity to shape the future you want. Living with a sense of urgency is not merely about moving fast or rushing through life. It's about recognizing the preciousness of time and the power of purposeful action. It's about understanding that every moment counts and every decision you make shapes your future. Time is a finite resource, and when you live with urgency, you maximize its potential. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking bold, deliberate steps toward your goals. You cultivate discipline, embrace discomfort, and act with intention, knowing that the present is the only time you truly control. So I urge you today, don't wait. The dreams you have, the goals you desire, the life you envision, they all begin with the actions you take now. The time to create the future you want is today, and every moment you delay is a moment lost. Live with a sense of urgency, and you will unlock the power to transform your life and impact the world. Time is on your side only if you make it work for you. Take action, live with purpose, and never forget that your greatest opportunities lie in the choices you make today. The time to live fully, to pursue your passions, and to achieve your dreams is now. Make it count.